We're already in the game. Jimmy has to hold, and he does so at least for now. It's a 3 versus 3. SHOCKERINHO on the CD side, the underrated on the D side, and let's say they have to find kills because otherwise it will be tough for the CTs to find the defuse. And as I say, this Shock play with a beautiful double headshot. 3 kills for him, and in the end of the day, it will be once again the CTs winning the pistol round. This has been the tendency in the last 3 matches for the CTs to win the pistol round, and it was Jimmy finding the first headshot onto MK, and from there it was Shock play with a beautiful double, actually a triple, excuse me, with this final kill onto Libido, and a good start for SHOCKERINHO. Our Shock play and company solid, and you see Stanley with the helmet. This beautiful picture. Once again we see it coming in play, and let's see, RTE will be taken down by the video, but the fire does its job, and Shock play goes aggressive onto Banana through the smoke. We take down MK, and not the best beginning for the underrated best one, or rather one of the underrated best player. Light Dice will trade, and that's a 3 versus 3, and look at Chris. If he pushes, which he does, he can find a kill and takes down Jimmy. And Chris is a player with a lot of experience. He's still developing, he's quite young, but plays for an international team which can potentially make the difference on the home soil. And Light Dice will plant the bomb. Actually I'm gonna take the sound off, as there is a slight change because yeah, obviously the stream is probably lagging or whatever, but the bomb went down, and it's Chris and Light Dice. Just to clarify something, if you look at Chris's nickname, it's KRSTN or whatever, but we can just call him Chris. That's absolutely fine because his real name is Christian, and his aggression in apartments paid off. Yeah, Mita tried, but after the skill onto Stanley, it was all Light Dice planting the bomb and equalizing the scoreline. And this has been a tendency for SHOCKERINHO to take the pistol round and then lose the next round, and from there things just fall apart. Light Dice will go aggressive on Banana and finds Mite. Banana control for the T's, and it will be our Shock play to try and hold the T's to not go into the B side. We see a rotation coming out of Stanley, but Light Dice already on the side. Will be looking to check his corners and take some damage, but still Stanley will go down to Steph. Chris playing the lurk position, well aware that a person can come from behind, but Jimmy is on long, will get spotted, and Chris with the better aim. A second round coming for the underrated, and with the addition of MK and Chris, I think this is definitely a team to keep an eye on, a team of young players, normally led by their in-game leader Popov, who is missing today's match due to several circumstances, but still young players on the roster that are looking to prove themselves. And if they win, if a win here would mean that they will potentially have a chance to qualify for the next round. Of course, if they win here, they will have to win at least one more match to move on to the next stage of A1 Gaming League. But for now, on this D side, it looks promising. The CTs will be relegated to pistols and one Galil for Mite. But yeah, what we were saying was that Stefe had to play this match for Popov, and Stefe played last week. He had a decent performance, but as I say this, the underrated, they're not wasting any time already. 2 kills for them. RT and Mite go down. They'll shock play. who tried to push Banana, and he actually wins his duel against Steffi. MK deep into CT. Will catch a shock play out of position, and the side is open, but look at where the bomb is. The bomb is all the way down on T. If Stani finds the headshot, this can potentially mean the round for the underrated. A flash will make the exit for Libido clear. Even a smoke will go down, and this means that a plant will go down for the T's. It will be a 2 versus 2 situation. Stani has an AK. Jimmy as well. 2 Molotovs for them. But Libido solid with the shots. Will take down Jimmy and go for the second. Stani down to 11 HP. Will be forced to go back and save his weapon for the next round. But a nice try on the side of SHOCKERINHO, considering it was an equal round for them. They managed to deal some damage and try at least, but the underrated solid. We see Libido with 5 kills, Light Eyes with 4, and 3 for both Chris and Steph. On the other side, it's Jimmy with a little bit of a slower start. Stani still to find a kill in this game. 5 rounds into it. And the road for both teams so far has been quite shaky. I mentioned for the underrated, they managed to beat Say Esports in our very first game of this season of A1 Gaming League. Then, however, it was an unfortunate loss against Adelaide Vanata. They got swept, and as I say this, look at where Mete is, all the way down to Banana. We tried to find the double, but Steph will trade him, and the fire will deal the damage. Stani with the first kill on the board, and it's a 1-man advantage for the CTs. Already a 2 after Chris goes down in the lurk position through apartments. And MK and Libido, they have to be creative. It has to be Libido to bring the underrated back into this round. Obviously MK will try to search for some information, spots one, but loses his duel afterwards. And yeah, Libido, I don't think he will be able to do anything more than just taking probably a single kill. If the circumstances help him, potentially a double, as 2 players are standing on the B side, but I don't think that he'll be able to find even one, as SHOCKERINHO's positions are quite solid in the second round for them. But what I was saying was that for the underrated, they suffered a really tough loss last week against Adelaide Uvana. They were swept 16-14. Whereas for SHOCKERINHO, they started against arguably the strongest team we have in the tournament, beyond possible. They got destroyed 3-16 on Asian, but later managed to come back stronger against Range Tactics and win with the same scoreline, 16-3, but in Inferno this time. So it was probably expected that both teams would go for Inferno, especially considering the Bulgarian meta. But let's see, RT now has to deliver and does so. A triple kill for him. Kills Libido, MK and Light Ice, and now has to continue with his performance. Chris already on the side with a Tech 9. A beautiful kill for him. Steph will help out, and it's a 1 versus 2 situation for Chris. Can the Bulgarian Beast clutch it? No, he cannot. Meet there to shut him down and equalize the scoreline. What I meant with Bulgarian Beast was the fact that Chris is actually playing for a Serbian organization. He recently won a really big tournament, so he's definitely showing signs that he can potentially develop in the future. Obviously he is still quite young, only 19, excuse me. He turned out 19 this year, but so far his team is doing everything they need to do on the T side. 3 versus 3, and we know that Inferno is a map that favors the city players due to the different angles and the possibility for the CTs to quickly rotate around the map. Oh, Jimmy, that's actually a window for the timing, but Chris doesn't manage to convert. It will go down. Jimmy with the opening frag. Let's see if Mite can help his team with another double. He will go back on side. The T players are rushing. Mite finds one, finds two, finds the third one. Not the cleanest shooting, but still a triple kill for him to put Libido in the grave. And SHOCKERINHO with a fourth. Jimmy with the beautiful opening here, and Mite decided to take the duel. Obviously he missed some shots, but after using the USP he managed to finalize the triple, and SHOCKERINHO so far bounced back after losing the first couple of rounds. And oh, actually the utility is good and Steph will go down. Nice opening on the side of SHOCKERINHO once again after Jimmy found the kill in the last round. This time it will be the utility helping SHOCKERINHO. They play in a setup where they have a one person in rotation. This time it will be Stanny, which will find MK. They will usually put two people on A and two people on B, but as I say this, Libido with a nice headshot onto Jimmy. Artis on the side will kill one. The question is, can he find more? No, he cannot. Stanny is there to trade, but goes immediately to grave, and it's once again Chris in a 1 versus 2 situation. Has the smoke for some coverage, but oh, he decides to go through it and take the duel, but unfortunately for him it will be Mite coming out on top. An 8th kill for him and a 5th for SHOCKERINHO after another unsuccessful 1 versus 2 attempt out of the underrated. Definitely a tougher start for them. We see MK, the person who's going back on the roster with a slower start, 1 kill and 6 deaths. Light Dice also not showing his full potential, whereas Arte stepping up, 10 kills, already double digits for SHOCKERINHO's player. Shock play quite close to double digits as well with 9 kill and has actually the potential to do it now. Let's see, he will spot the boost and kills the Light Dice to open up the round. You can see on your screens that at least this round it will be only the AK for Chris and the rest of the players playing with Digos. Last game this paid off, but at least for now it will be SHOCKERINHO playing an organized game, a double pick. They know that Libido is there, but even though they have the information, it will be the T player coming out on top with a beautiful headshot. Now it's on to Chris, who finds a double, and suddenly this round is wide open. Can Chris find more? That's the big question. Yes, he does a beautiful headshot onto Jimmy, and now it's all on to Stanny to try and do something. What a round coming out of Chris. It's a 1 versus 3 for Stanny. He has an idea. The bomb will go down. Can he find the second? He does. And it's a 1 versus 1. Steffi cannot find his shots, but with his last bullet will kill down Stanny. And what a beautiful round coming out of the underrated. You see Chris manages to find 2 crucial kills, and this headshot was just massive. Takes down Jimmy to put Stanny in a 1 versus 3 situation, and he tried to do his best, and it became close. Yes, Steffi, he missed some shots, but still takes down the kill, and the underrated bounce back. A 4 for him, for them, and this AK for Chris paid dividends now. Another push for him will open up this round with a kill on to Jimmy. And this young guy putting up a lot of pressure onto SHOCKERINHO. Meanwhile, on the other side, Light Dice prepare for the boost We shut down Mite. And we have a really competitive game. Both teams going for the peaks. Both teams going for the boosts. Both teams trying to fight their way towards victory. And let's see, Stani and El Shock play. They will need to hold the A side. Steph is already deep into the side. Another player coming out of apartments. And can Stani hold? He tried last time, but it was not enough. Oh, they don't know. I don't think they know. I don't think they know that he's still in pit. They have a good understanding, but do they know? Steph has an idea, but El SHOCKERINHO playing with the time. El Shock play will go down, and finally they see Stani, who will take down Chris. But Steph is prepared, and not a lot of time left for Stani, who doesn't have an idea that Steph is waiting in the graveyard. And we'll put the final nail in the coffin to equalize the scoreline 5-5. And Chris coming out clutch in the last couple of rounds with this AK. Definitely playing a solid game for his team. And El SHOCKERINHO now forced to play with pistols. It has to be a rush somewhere. It will be a rush on mid through the smoke directly. Chris, however, is there. Finds the first, finds the second. MK with another kill with the AWP. A triple for Chris, and it's only Mite in this eco round to try and do something. We'll take down Chris with a consolation prize. He actually finds a second one, which will at least give some more seconds in this round for the underrated, for El SHOCKERINHO, excuse me. But Libido finalizes the kill, and the underrated come out on top. Yes, it was an eco round, but still a decent attempt coming out of El SHOCKERINHO. Dealt some damage to the economy of the underrated, but still way more will be needed if they want to secure some more rounds. And good T side so far on the side of the underrated. I mentioned it previously that this is a CT sided map, and as I say this, Jimmy, Stani and Artie just prove my point. An aggressive push out of mid and banana, which catches Chris and company off guard, but yes, Chris will find one. Eventually we'll go to the grave. El Shock play with the last in this round, and 6-6. If El SHOCKERINHO wants to have at least some chance coming into the second half, they desperately need the next couple of rounds. 8-7 will not be the best scenario for them. And let's see what is going to be the strategy. Standard utility, but we see Light Dice actually decides to go through all the utility and already has quite a lot of control. Will not go for the more aggressive peek towards B side, but Mite not afraid to go for sandbags in this position. This position can be crucial if he just finds the first one, which he will do. Takes down Steffi. Yes, the smoke will go down and save a lot of time, but look at where Chris is. His lurk position working wonders for underrated. But that's a three-man setup on A. And we see that Stani is ready with the rotation. We'll go back to B, however. And it will be all on El SHOCKERINHO's A players to try and hold. For now, at least, it has been working. Artie will take down one, but bullets fly left and right. And suddenly we have Libido, after a double kill, will put himself in a 1 versus 2 situation. But Stani, quick on the rotation, will shut him down. Obviously, the helmet gives some more armor and persistency, I guess. And that's a 7 for El SHOCKERINHO. A good try, but the CT is more solid. We see some beautiful kills coming out of Libido. A double for him. Actually, a triple, excuse me. But Stani was quick on the rotation to catch him off guard and not allow him to clutch in this situation. And we have to mention once again, Light Dice and MK No influence on the map so far. They have been absent. It has been a tough matchup for both of them. MK with only 2 kills, Light Dice with only 5. Chris has been trying, but it is not enough, and we see how Shockplay opens up on Libido. And after Jimmy takes down MK, it is not looking good for the underrated in those last couple of shockerinho seems like they managed to bring their game back. They managed to pick themselves up and create an advantage for themselves. Yeah, Mite will go down, but Stani is there to not allow the plant. And 8 for SHOCKERINHO. Now, this is an important round. This is an important round because SHOCKERINHO, if they want to go on the T side, they will need this round advantage. If they take this one out, it will be a 9-6, and eventually with winning the pistol, they will secure at least a 12th, which will be a comfortable advantage going into their T side. Meanwhile, for the underrated, taking 7 rounds on the T side will be massive. I mentioned this several times, but getting rounds on the D side is crucial on this map, and Steph opens up with a kill on to Mide and a double for the T player. Yes, our Shockplay will trade Chris, but Steph continues. A triple kill for him to put himself against Stani. But the CT player holds. The CT player holds, but unfortunately for him, this will be a B play, as the B side is completely open. Light Dice in a good position. Yes, the smoke is there. Will take some damage, and the CTs are aware. There is a small gap. Will Shockplay check the angle? Yes, takes the no-scope to secure a 2 versus 2. It's Libido and MK against Stani and Shockplay. Who will win the 2 versus 2? That's the big question. Oh, Shockplay goes through the fire, but he's being hurt, and Libido solid on the AK to not give any chances to SHOCKERINHO. Stani, he has a kit, has 1 kill this round, but he's not being able to find anything more. The underrated hiding, not allowing for Stani to make anything else apart from going directly to the graveyard. A 7 for the underrated, but still SHOCKERINHO with a round advantage. Both teams will now swap, and let's see how the teams will manage to do on the opposite side. The underrated now on the defense. I'm really interested to see how they will be able to stop SHOCKERINHO's aggression. Oh, let's see, Steph already with the aggression coming out of Boiler, and it will pay off. Shockplay goes down, his head being removed, and Steph continues a beautiful second headshot, but Stani immediately having a good game to respond. But look at Libido, what a double for the CT player. And yes, Chris will go down, but Libido now has a good understanding when after a triple headshot kill, he will take the round all the way to the underrated scoreline. A beautiful aggression comes out of Steph to secure a double, but look at Libido, just one-tapping everyone on the server to take the round home. And underrated coming back into this map. SHOCKERINHO still to find their play. Yes, it was a 5 versus 5, a 6 versus 6, but then SHOCKERINHO managed to take 2 rounds in a row. The underrated winning the last one of the last half, and right now with this pistol they will be able to build at least somewhat of an advantage. We see utility goes down. Light Dice not afraid to jump and find some information. He stays even for the duel, which he'll win against RT, but the rest of the T's are coming, and Jimmy will shut Light Dice down. Now it's Chris, finds the first one to the MP7, has to deal with 3 more T players. Would actually find the third, and Libido is there to help him out. A knight on the board for the underrated, with only 2 people going down. A good round for the CTs to avoid taking crucial damage, and now comes the real test. Now comes the real obstacle. SHOCKERINHO with the first buy on their T side. Five AKs, some utility, but Stani already down to 35 HP. Took a lot of damage. Aggressive peek coming out of Libido on top of MK's flash. But it is Shock play with the first kill onto Libido to shut him down. Artie with the second. Chris will win the duel on Banana, but would that be enough? Standing waiting in the canals. But Chris has other plans. Artie well aware that there is a CT player and he'll get spotted. He was... Oh! I'm not really sure whether Chris spotted him, but Stani definitely had a good understanding, and now the play will be through apartments. It's all down to Steph. Can he hold? He has the idea. Can he land the bullets? He finds the first one. Can he convert it? Finds a second. Steph can be crucial, especially if he finds this kill, and he does a triple for the CT defender. And it will be Chris with the last kill this round to shut SHOCKERINHO down. Yes, it looked desperate for a moment, but Chris and Steph came in clutch. Look at this. Finds the first headshot, then the second. And with this M4, kills down Artie for the triple. Chris pushing through mid, finds the last kill. A double for him, a triple for Steph. And underrated with a 10th on board. A beautifully played round by the CTs. And now SHOCKERINHO in a tough position. Down to pistols. Obviously this has to be an easy round for the underrated. And we see Chris not afraid to aggress, not afraid to fight. And 2 kills on the board for him. 22nd on the score. The leader for his team definitely this game. Artie will be blinded but still finds an MK. An M4, excuse me. And finds light dice. But Chris, we see, he keeps on jumping. He keeps on looking for the information. He keeps on relying on himself to lead his team. Libido holds the short position, but it is likely that this will be a B play. We see where the bomb is, and actually SHOCKERINHO, especially after Shock play goes down, will have to go for the B play. MK supports with a flash, and it will once again be all on Chris. They haven't checked dark, and he'll come out of dark. He will not allow for the plant to go down. Yes, Jimmy takes down MK, but still will be quite tough for him unless he finds Chris and 2 more. But Staff solid on his play, will shut Jimmy down, and the underrated continue with their march towards the 16th. Unfortunately for SHOCKERINHO, after losing 2 on Banana, they were forced in a position where they had to push B. They had to go for the plant, but they didn't check all their angles. And exactly from dark was where Chris was hiding, and was from where Chris punished SHOCKERINHO. And look at him. He just goes in. He's not afraid to go in, and especially when MK hits shots through the smoke. Everything just goes in favor of the underrated so far. And it's difficult. It's difficult for SHOCKERINHO to find anything much more than just single kills. And you see MK will put down the smoke and even play in front of it. I'm not really sure whether he is aware of the boost. Yes, he is. Takes down Mite, and the options are running for SHOCKERINHO. Even Libido survives on 1 HP, and light dice will take this duel. We'll win it, and we'll put a 12th on the board for the underrated. Clean rounds coming out of the CTs, and you see, when this happens, you know that it's a desperate situation. When you're in your buy and the CTs aggress and hit their shots through the smoke, especially with the AWP, It is not looking good. Now, the question is, what can El SHOCKERINHO do? They tried with some B plays, it did not work out. Now they will go for the second mid play, and MK will take down Mite, but will fall to the Mac 10. Jimmy responds after Libido kills RT. And trading 1-for-1 looks good for El SHOCKERINHO, but Chris, solid with his shot so far. Steph, the player to watch together with Chris, but El Shock play well aware of where the CT player was, and they're not expecting light dice. A double kill for him, and 13 for the underrated. It looked a little bit shaky. It looked like they had found the kills they needed, but light dice pushing from behind. They forgot to check for the person coming out of banana, and the underrated with a solid defense, well coordinated, relying on their carries. Yes, MK doesn't have the best game, but still Chris and Steph cover for him. And we see once again, look at this aggression. This is just absolutely ridiculous. 4 quick kills coming out for the underrated just by pushing aggressively banana, and Libido will use his own flash through the smoke, will shut Mita down. And 14, I don't know what is the answer to this. I absolutely don't know. Whenever there is a buy coming out of El SHOCKERINHO, it's just the underrated, the gas to the pedal, the pedal to the metal, full gas, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, El SHOCKERINHO, if they want to have at least a chance, they need to force buy, and they do so. 48Ks and a Digo, which for now at least will pay. Libido gets caught, but look at Staff. Look at Staff. He's just waiting in the apartments, playing the lurk position with the automatic shotgun. And just maybe, if somehow El SHOCKERINHO decides to change their minds and go for the B play, and go for the A play, sorry, this will be huge. There is a 4-man stack on A, and the underrated will decide to push. Oh my god, no way. If this works out, which has to, Steph at least will push and find Jimmy. MK with a shot on to Mite, and now this looks messy. This is not looking good for El SHOCKERINHO. It is looking desperate, especially when Chris is hitting such shots. And Steph with the yellow shotgun, he just doesn't care. A 15 for the underrated. And that's the absolute crackdown for El SHOCKERINHO. After finding the opening kill, after having the B side open, they just decide to not go for it. And you see the underrated using every free inch on the map, taking advantage of every position they're given. And 15th on their board, 7 match points for them to secure a 2-1 scoreline and 2 chances to qualify for the next round. And Staff in apartments will shut down Jimmy, but meanwhile El SHOCKERINHO not giving up, opening the B side. And this now has to be the 3 versus 3 retake for the underrated if they want to secure their match right here, right now. Bomb will go down near coffins. And let's see if MK can find a second this round. Deep positions for the D's to try and hold. No person on new box, but RT has to go for the peak. MK solid on the AWP, and it's all on Stanley with the helmet. Can he find the double? For at least for now, he finds one. It's MK versus Stanley. Who will win? MK sticking the defuse if Stanley doesn't check. The bomb will be defused, but the D player well aware of the timings and keeps his team into the game. Stanley has been trying. He has been desperately trying this whole game, being put in a 1 versus something situations. And 16 kills for him. Mite supporting with 17. RT 17 as well. A shock play leading his team with 20. Obviously Jimmy having a tougher game, but same can be said for MK. Meanwhile, on the other side, Chris with 27, 28 on the board as I'm saying this. Steph with 24, Libido with 21, and El SHOCKERINHO Now find themselves in a man disadvantage after Chris gets no scoped. But can El Shockplay finds a second through the smoke? A beautiful kill, but even a knife kill. What is happening? I have absolutely no idea. What is this round? And look at this. MK finds one. El Shockplay will immediately trade him. And it's now Libido and Steph against El Shockplay. He has the AWP and secures a 1-versus-1 situation. Who can clutch? The big question. Would it be El Shockplay to keep his team, the man, the captain? Or would it be Steph, the sub, coming out for the underrated? Oh my god, look at the weapons. Look at the weapons. If Steph does this, this would be absolutely ridiculous. He would not be able to do so. The captain keeps his team alive. An ace coming out of El Shockplay. And a 10 for El SHOCKERINHO. They're still not done. They're still in the game. Let's see now. Stani opens up the round with a kill into Libido, but MK trades him immediately with the AWP. And can he find more? It seems like he has a good idea of where the T players can be, but misses the timing with just a little bit, misses the shot, and takes a lot of damage, down to 13 HP. Still goes aggressive on mid and finds Mite. And a man advantage for the TTs once again. MK just not stopping, just going for the aggressive place, and he'll find Artie to put his team in a 4-versus-2 situation. It is looking desperate for El SHOCKERINHO, and seems like this will be the end. It's once again the captain to try and keep his team in this game somehow. I don't think this will be possible. This has to be impossible, and yes, it will not be made. 16-10. Underrated, win the round, win the game, and they'll move to the 2-1 stage.